Kaylee Dunn with 1, and Braylon Steele with 10. Defensively, we have 1 rebound for Quillen, 6 for Gerald, 2 for Thompson, 1 for Mullins, 4 for Housewright, 1 for Dunn, 1 for Irvin, and 2 for Steele. 21 total rebounds for Gate City compared to 29 for Union. So, there you go.
Let's talk about the superlatives of the night.
Oh, Joe, come on.
All right, so let's talk about the stat of the night. Again, brought to you by the law office of Jesse Walker McMurray. Again, does such a tremendous job, especially with our Boosters Club, such an integral part of helping again to raise funds. Again, a huge supporter of Blue Devil sports in Gate City High School. Chris, what do we got as the stat of the night?
29.
And that would be?
Total turnovers forced by Gate City on Union.
Shoo-wee.
Gate City only committed 13. You said Union was averaging 22 a game.
Yep.
So 29 turnovers by that Blue Devils defense. They just smothered the Bears.
That actually tops the 28 against Y Central earlier. That was the season high, again, in that throttle, and they gave them at home. But, so, again, that tops it. So, let's talk about the play of the night. Again, that brought to you by Colonial Funeral Home. Colonial Funeral Home, such a fixture in Weber City. Again, they've done so much for our region. They're always there during times of need. And, again, so Colonial Funeral Home, a big supporter of Gate City High School. So let's talk about play of the night.
I've got 2 for you to pick from, unless you're feeling generous.
I'm feeling...
Could we have an offensive play and a defensive play?
I'm feeling froggy, so
well,
let's go.
I'm disappointed you didn't run around the court.
Well, I may hear when nobody...
when nobody's here.
Of course. And then when I go into cardiac arrest, then we'll have to...
Security throws you down on the floor.
So...
I've heard that you're getting pretty used to being maced.
Ta-da.
So, here we go. Offensively, 7:41 to go in the third. Thompson hit a bounce pass to a wide-open Quillen for the layup.
Yes, indeed.
My other one I jotted down right at the end of the game, 43.8 seconds, game still in question. Kendall Quillen all over the Union player, knocked the ball loose. Player Union, I can't remember who it was, tries to grab it, goes out of bounds, gives Gate City the ball back, seals the game. You pick.
They are both. They are both the plays of the night. Again, congratulations. And I want to say thank you. Starting getting congratulations coming in. Ridgeview Radio Group, David Moore does such a fantastic job. And everybody in the Mountain 7 this year, everybody's got a Spreaker account. Everybody's got radio crews. Lehigh actually have a couple of radio stations that broadcast their games. I want to say thank you to them for all that they do in highlighting these young athletes. So, Chris, that leads us to the player of the game, Delegate Terry Kilgore Leadership Player of the Game. Again, that is an honor. Delegate Kilgore, of course, he's worked for Southwest Virginia for the last 2 decades and a half in Richmond. Of course, we're going to go see him here in a couple days. And, again, like I said, I want to say thank you for everything he does as an alumni of Gate City, the support that he offers to us. So, Chris, player of the game would be...
Should I go with my head or my gut, my heart?
Go with your heart all the time.
All right. Player of the game, which under ordinary circumstances would be what's the word? I can't even think of my words now. The intangible award.
Yep.
I'm going player of the game tonight, Sam Gerald. She only had 2 points, but my gosh almighty, she was all over the floor. She was knocking balls loose. She's not going to be credited, I don't think, with a lot of turnovers, but she created the turnovers. She just didn't come up with it. She was setting screens. I mean, she was doing everything you needed to do. Like I said, you could tell she didn't want her career to end right here in Wise.
She had 4 steals on the night. She had 5 assists in the ball game. She had 6 rebounds, and then she had, of course, those 2 points.
My head was telling me Sarah Thompson. Sarah's going to have her chances. This is the senior. I'm giving it to her.
Well, let's talk about the Elliott Smith the Elliott Smith Blue Devil of the Game Award. Again, it is set up. The boosters came, and what we talked about it in terms of honoring Elliott. He was such a fixture, a part of Gate City Athletics for so many years. He dedicated himself to helping these young people. And, again, he embodied what a Blue Devil is, and this award is set up for that. Again, just as you mentioned, in the intangibles, it's the things you don't see in the necessarily maybe on the scorebook or that you see in the papers, but they embody who a Blue Devil is. So, Chris, you would give that to who?
Do I go with my heart or do I go with my head?
You go with your heart always.
The senior, Kendall Quillen.
Kendall Quillen.
Again, all over the court, you could see the determination on her face. She was going to do whatever it took for Gay City to win. She wound up with 7 points. Fourth leading scorer on the team. But again, that intangible, it's just her presence. It's not a coincidence that Gay City kind of hit the slides when she and Gerald were out injured. They're a different team with those two girls in there. So, sorry, Sarah.
Gate City, again, we talked about that. The Union tied Gate City. They scored 7 apiece in the second quarter. Union actually outscored Gate City 14-13. But Gate City outscored Union 22-18. And they went on and move on to the VHSL State Championship game.
And they never trailed in this game.
They never, for 1 second on the night, trailed. So, let's see if we've got anything from the boys before we move any further. Again, the girls will be playing at 12:30 from Richmond. Again, most likely going to take on Luray.
Final. Yes, Gay City 51, Radford 55. Gay City advances to Richmond for Thursday's title game.
Wait a minute. You said Radford 55?
Yes.
And
Gay City 61. Did I say 51?
I was like, holy moly.
I'm all torn up, Joe. Gay City 61, Radford 55. Gay City advances to Richmond for Thursday's title game at Siegel Center against either John Marshall or East Rockingham. Radford is eliminated. Thank you, Tanner Cook. Have a safe trip home.
We will not let you introduce the Siegel Center. The Schlegel Center.
Schlegel Center.
The Schlegel Center is going to be, it's going to be a rocking. Gate City, both teams move on.
Joe, we need to get these girls over here with our broadcasting stuff for a picture. They're all out here posing.
Well,
when we sign off, let's make that happen.
If we can get them all. All right, Chris. What a great season's been so far.
Hey, we're not done.
And both of them end up where? In Richmond.
In Richmond.
The road to Richmond, again, goes through Gate City. The boys will move straight. They packed up tonight again, so they move on. They will be actually going to Richmond tonight to stay. I don't know why they may stay at Radford. I'm not sure. But anyway, the girls will leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30. And have a practice up there. And
we're going to leave it to crack of dawn on Thursday, I guess.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm leaving it to crack of dawn, whether you're with me or not.
Well, so, just make sure you don't find the Schlegel Center.
Schlegel Center.
All right. So from a victorious UVA-wise Gate City girls, Gate City boys has moved on. They are in the state championship game. What a night for Gate City. Proud of these young athletes, proud of everybody that supports them, proud of everybody that supports us. And again, we'll sign off. And we'll be back on the air on Thursday afternoon from the Schlegel Center, as Chris will refer to it, or the Siegel.
Siegel Center.
There we go. All right. Appreciate you, Chris. And like I said, we'll
Good to be back, Joe.
Yeah. We're worked off the rust. We'll get through it. So, again, doubleheader coming up on Thursday. Championship Thursday it is. You've been listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.